is the finishing lab, and today what we're going to do is a quick video on how to properly pack your LE9000 to either ship to me here at the finishing lab, or if you need to ship your LE9000 into Santinelli for service. So a couple things you want to make sure is you want to go ahead and make sure that the edger is properly locked down. So if you come in here, you'll see I've taped down all the doors, but you're going to see that it's all properly locked down. Right in here, you're going to see the little mount that actually locks down the carriage from moving up and down. So this is very important to have in the edger. The other thing that's very important to have in the edger is on the side here, right down here, there's a little hole on all LE9000s. This hole requires a bolt, and this keeps the chassis from moving back and forth. So you've got to make sure that that bolts in, because otherwise this chassis can damage the plastic carriage piece, or the plastic chamber, and also the carriage. So make sure you get this in there and this in there. You also want to make sure you nicely tape down all the doors so that nothing opens, and then also tape down the safety bevel assembly here. As you can see, I've kind of wrapped it around the assembly. So you want to just make sure everything is taped down and everything is secure so nothing's going to move. Okay. What you're going to need for the packing is, you see I've gone to FedEx. So the FedEx box, it's a 24-inch cube box. So it's 24 inches by 24 inches by 24 inches. So it's simply a 24-inch cube box. You can see on the bottom, I've taped it nice and shut. Make sure it's nice and secure and you're using really good tape. The other thing I've gotten is, this is called R-Tech. It's just housing insulation. So you can see it's called R-Tech. It's 2-inch foam insulation, and you buy it in a 4x8 foot sheet from Home Depot. This box costs about $11, and the sheet of foam costs about $20. So this whole kit to set up and send your edger is going to be about $30 to $40 for the box, where Santinelli is going to charge you a lot more just to send you the box, let alone how much the box is going to cost for Santinelli to send it to you. So some of the things you're going to need, here's the box, some packing tape. You're going to need black marker and a nice razor to cut the foam. And what I've done is, you can see here on the edges of the foam is I've actually melted the edges so there's no peanuts. So the peanuts are not gonna, get around. So, around the edges. So I like to melt them. I've used either a hair dryer or I've got an industrial heat gun, and I just lightly heat the edges, which melts the plastic. Okay. The other thing I've done is, if you go and you can see this is just some scrap foam. You can go to like a local warehouse place that is doing some unpacking, and usually they'll have some spare packing materials you can get from them, and just get some spare packing material. Okay, so back to the box. You've seen in the box what I've done is I've cut one solid 24 by 24 inch cube, and then for the bottom, which the edger is going to sit on, and then I've cut out a spot so the edger doesn't move. You don't want the edger moving back and forth. We're going to surround it, but we really want that edger to be planted in there. Okay? So real quick, I'm just going to set this over here, and I'm going to get my edger. Now, watch how I grab the edger, but what's important is really grab two people for this. I've been listing Santinellis for the last 6 years of my life, so I kind of know the leverage points, but there are little handles right under here on both sides of the edgers. So what you want to do is you really just want to get this thing, and you really want to pull it nice and close to you so you've got a good handle on it, okay? And you always want to use your knees, obviously. And we're going to set this right inside of the box, right in the little cutout. So now we can see that the edger is indented in 2 inches, so this edger is actually not going to move as it sits. Okay? So I've already pre-cut these, so now what we're going to do is we're going to just go ahead and slide in 2 inches. And this is why a 24-inch cube box is perfect, because this is actually 20 inches. So we're going to have 2 inches over here and 2 inches over here. So now we've protected our sides. And actually this piece, you can see this is actually the bottom cutout, which works. It's actually 20 inches by 20 inches, which we're going to slide right in the front here. Okay, notice the pattern. I'm leaving 2 inches on the top because this is going to be our top piece. Okay, our last piece is going to slide in right in the back, and you can see in the back I've got an extra about 1.5 inches. That's where this is going to come in, and you're going to see I'm just going to stuff this right in the back just to make sure that this has a little bit of play, and just to make sure that this doesn't move around during shipment. Now, you can have it sent through the finishing lab either through freight, or you can send it through FedEx or UPS. Just remember, UPS handles these packages. They tend to get tumbled around, so just be careful sending them through FedEx or UPS because they are going to get handled, and there is a run. You do run the risk of damaging the edger. So now you can see it's pretty well secured. Now what I've done here is I've actually already laid out my top section, but which I'm going to actually lift off because the next piece that I'm going to do is some more foam. So all I've got is some extra little foam pieces that I'm just going to put down at the top of the edger just to protect the door, the screen, and anything else that if this does get tumbled over, it's not going to damage the edger. And if you look, I really just kind of thrown it in there because I want a nice cushion. Next thing I'm going to do is I cut out this piece, and this is going to go right in here, and it's going to fall right in the top of the edge. And this is going to be shipped to a customer, so you can see I've put any ancillary items or anything. I've filled in the gaps. So this is going to be a nice tight shipment. And like I said, if you've got any more extra foam, just fill in the pieces with the extra foam just to make sure nothing moves around and that everything is tight and secure. The final thing we're going to do is just add our top. Okay, we want to make sure we get a top on there because we want to make sure that if things do sit on the top of this, it's actually very secure. So now if it is crushed from the side or the top, you've got a lot of cushion and you've got a lot of support that this is going to give you for your shipping. Okay. The difference, if you ship this through FedEx, just make sure you insure these. Okay. So whatever you think the loss value is, typically most 9000s loss value is about $9,000 to $10,000. Pay the extra for the interest or for the insurance. Okay. It's going to cost you another $50 to $100 for insurance. But if this does get broken, we don't want you to be out, okay? So this kind of concludes the shipment video. Go ahead and tape up your box and get it shipped off. Make sure you label it that it's heavy. Make sure you label it that it's fragile. And make sure you label it, obviously, who it's going to properly so it gets here nice and safe and sound. Keep tuned for more videos to the Finishing Lab. Thanks for following.